What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tech 1-2 podcast. I'm your host, John Campus. I'm super excited today. In the studio, I have my C-suite cohorts, Nick and Andrew. So let's get started.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning. What the hell is going on?
Breakfast. I gotta be in at Brant Leland by 9.
How long have I been asleep? What year is it?
I don't know if you've noticed, but lately I've been drifting aimlessly.
Now that you mention it.
But I finally realized what's missing in my life. Structure. Yep, I gotta go.
All right, Tom.
I'll see you tonight, huh? Don't forget my briefcase.
It takes another home again to find me where
White hair, no green.
Wow, so today we're talking about, can you believe it, 2023 comes to an end? And we're talking about EMPIST Wrapped 2023.
It can't end like this.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable, isn't it?
It feels that it went by too quick, John.
I can't believe it. I mean, it seems like it was yesterday when you were sitting in the same room in the early part of the year and talking about the recession and recession-proof in your business. And now we're at the end.
Right.
Stock market, one of the almost close to the old highs, 38,000 points. Businesses are growing and collaborating within them, and none of the bad things happen, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was this fear factor, right? And what our messaging back then was press in, don't retract, push forward, and look, we're here at the end of the year, and we're here to talk about various successes, challenges that businesses face. Certainly, you can't go an entire year and there's no problems whatsoever.
No.
But with the experiences that we have working with so many different industries, we're hoping today that we can bring some good knowledge for all of our listeners and other businesses to see how they can improve upon their 2023 and move forward with a very successful 2024. So let's just get started. I mean, let's talk a little bit about some of the trends that we saw. One of the big trends that we saw in the course of the year was, it's not shocking, but related to cybersecurity.
Oh, yeah. Cybersecurity has been a big thing.
My specialty is cybersecurity.
The big subject was cybersecurity, and then cyber liability situations came to play insurance-wise, where now, for the first time, we've seen actual insurance companies imposing controls. What type of controls you need to have in your business, controls that were not there before, and it came as a shock to everybody. So although, yes, we don't hear a lot about cybersecurity, cyber threats, ransomware, cyber attacks, and cyber liability anymore, it has become the new norm. Don't you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not by accident that many of our podcasts were this year centered around cybersecurity in general and how to reduce the potential threats and how to handle the threats, what things you should have in place to prepare for them. Because quite honestly, what was surprising for me at least was the number of business email compromises that we saw across our clients across this year, which is basically somebody getting an email and then taking action on that email and then getting compromised and their email getting compromised. And it being spammed out to a lot of their contact lists. So for us, there was a period where we saw a huge uptick in clients that were experiencing business email compromises, and not because they didn't have sufficient controls in place, but because even those controls were getting compromised, like they had multi-factor authentication and they were either clicking on it or it was getting bypassed. So there were things that definitely occurred that we were surprised to see happen when it came to cybersecurity. But as Nick mentioned, not just the cybersecurity insurance, but also the number of businesses that clients are working with or their partners, as you mentioned, their supply chain, John, that are requesting security questionnaires be completed. And that significantly increased this year as well, beyond what we even anticipated.
Who could have predicted this?
Yeah, I mean, you're only as strong as your weakest link, so the vendor risk assessment side is extremely important. I'm glad to see that organizations are embracing that, not only as a requirement that we see through compliance or cyber liability that's dictating that, but also organizations understanding that they have to mitigate their risk to mitigate it and protect their assets, their people, their business, and their clients. And by improving the security posture of their supply chain will only get them closer to that overall success.
You're in dire need of an upgrade.
No, no doubt, and we have been talking about it for several years. We've been preaching security awareness training, the importance of doing our own calculated phishing tests, trying to expose clients' environments and expose your own environment, see what users are prone to potentially clicking on emails from bad actors. But now you really are seeing an acknowledgement previously that, yeah, I think we need to do it, to clients really starting to, and businesses really starting to recognize that we need to be much more aggressive on the training on our end with our staff. We really need to, let's push them to send out emails that look 100% like it's coming from Microsoft or some other legitimate email source. And let's really test them to see if they're able to handle that. And not only do you want to test them, because even here we have individuals that in our own organization that potentially will click, though we're very, 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 very careful. But even here it happens within EMPIST. So it's anybody's potentially prone to it. So yes, the security awareness training is really the only, still remains really the only, and it's not even fail-safe, but one of the most important methods for ensuring improved security across your organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought our own hurdles, because we are a regular company as the listeners out there, and I'm assuming some of the listeners out there today, you're also business owners as well. So we're not dissimilar. We're facing similar challenges, although we're trying to mitigate them because of the nature of the industry that we're in. We're still concerned about financial risk, operational risk, and reputational risk that can come out of a potential hack, a potential enemy getting into your system and trying to do harm to those around you, but also to your clients, to your vendors. And speaking about clients and vendors, I think more than ever before this year, we saw our clients not only being concerned about their own security and their own environment, how to protect it, but also asking their vendors and their own clients, hey, what are you doing to safeguard the information that we exchange together? What parameters have you set in place, you as a vendor, to protect my information, and you as a client to protect the information that we exchange?
Can you protect me from yourself?
This has been around for a long time. It isn't anything new. There are some emerging technologies that we saw, though, over the course of the year, especially shortly after we recorded our podcast in the early part of the year. Some of you may have heard of, a little program called ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
And ChatGPT, which really enabled consumers at all levels, businesses and consumers, enable them with a platform that can be used for good purposes, could be weaponized as well. There's a lot of, codes of ethics around AI, like, what should it be used for, what shouldn't it be used for. But when we talk about a platform that is so readily available for free, that was also being utilized to weaponize and use the content that was there to improve the sophistication of, you talked a little bit about phishing emails, social engineering someone to actually have them do something or provide something. The doing something was clicking on something.
Yeah.
Previously, it was pretty easy to spot a lot of these things.
Sure.
Right? It was poor grammar, was a very clear red flag, sense of urgency, act now, do something now. Now, with various AI platforms, not that AI is brand new, but
Right.
now it's just mainstream. Everybody knows about it. A grandma in, in the country knows about ChatGPT. Someone in, metropolitan Chicago knows about AI and how it can be used. But that's really introduced various additional ways that bad actors can use platforms that can be used for good purposes, but also bad purposes to infiltrate into networks.
Yeah, it's funny because, the introduction of AI is something wonderful. We don't all understand it yet, and we still have a lot of work to do around it. But the main basis is supposed to augment our productivity, right? Enhance our productivity. And unfortunately, it also enhances the productivity of those who want to do harm upon you. So definitely something.
Yeah, no doubt. It is an incredibly robust platform, and the ability to be able to utilize artificial intelligence, AI, to find out almost any answer and really write almost anything. I think Nick was mentioning his son used it to write an essay recently. It is incredible, but yes, like anything else, like any new technology or new platform, there is really an importance and reliance on understanding what it can do and what can be dangerous to those that are utilizing it. And so, yes, you mentioned, John, it truly can be utilized and has aided the efforts of the bad actors to exploit businesses. But we're obviously very excited about the potential that it offers, and I'm sure many other businesses are out there that it can offer their business to utilize the data that they have, the big data that you hear talked about, the data that they have in their environment, and make decisions around where they can go for the direction for their business. So.
Yeah, I mean, AI can be used absolutely for bad reasons. It's, the big value is for ethical reasons and for businesses and how they can transform their operations using the data that they have to make faster decisions, to make accurate decisions, even just platforms. I mean, we've seen even a lot of the mitigation platforms that we talk about to mitigate the risk. We know it's a multi-layered approach.
Sure.
Everybody's incorporating AI now. I
Right.
mean, whether it's, you're on your social media platform that's going to suggest and help you write your content based on your interests and the topic that you're talking about, or here at EMPIST, even just taking the information that our clients are providing us with to be able to respond faster, respond in a more accurate way to solve their problems much faster, and to be able to identify trending patterns that may be happening within their environments to get in front of those things and continue to fuel their businesses with the technology they need to succeed. You guys know that saying, don't you?
A little bit. It's a jingle that's very familiar to us.
This song, it's stuck in my head and it's so loud.
We also I think in the beginning of the year, especially just coming out of the pandemic, and so many organizations went distributed. As an organization, I mean, we feel very confident that building great organizations is you do that with great people and building off that energy, and the element of whether it's hybrid or full on site works much better than a fully distributed workforce. And some industries it may warrant it, some industries it may work very well. For us, we know that it didn't work very well, but we actually saw the reverse of more distributed, like people going distributed, to starting to see a lot more of our client base coming back into the office, even albeit at a hybrid level. Did you guys predict any of that? Did you guys think that was going to happen this year? Or did you guys think the trend was going to continue where it was going to be, this constant, okay, my lease is coming up for expiration, we're going distributed, and we're just going to work in a distributed workforce?
First of all, we have to acknowledge the fact that true distributed work model can definitely work for some businesses, and they can actually become even more successful than they were when they were in a in-person environment. So we'll take that out of the picture. But we have seen the trend of people coming back into the office, either in a hybrid model or a full-time model as well. And that has happened, I believe, for a couple of reasons. One is the speed of collaboration. We talk about collaboration and being collaborative. The speed of collaboration that takes place for certain industries in a remote environment is not the same as an in-person environment. And the companies completely realized it very quickly after being flexible, and I'm okay because it was the big, we went to the big resignation, the great resignation period, right? So many employees were really afraid about running out of talent and then having to recycle talent from competitors or from people from outside of the industry, because we saw that too. A lot of people trying to get into your business, and our clients in particular as well, where they were not there previously. They were not part of that industry. They just wanted to join that industry. So that's a big reason. The other big reason has to do with what we talked before, risk and compliance as well. Having a more controlled environment within a physical work environment, you can do things better and more securely than having things done into somebody logging in from a local Starbucks, or even worse, from a cantina down at the southern border of Mexico and Belize, for example, because they're a nomad, right? And there's certain risks involved with access to your systems from anywhere in the world, apart rather than having them take place within your own control environment. So that played a big role too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it was surprising because, I know a lot of businesses accepted sort of the fact that they were going to operate in a distributed or hybrid work environment going forward. But one of the things that we definitely saw, an emerging trend we saw during the year, was that actual individuals who were not traditionally in a remote environment. If you have headquarters are in another state, you have to be remote. If your whole team is remote, you have to be remote. So there's a lot of industries in which it's just mandatory for you to perhaps be a remote worker. But for a lot of positions and a lot of businesses where that was not mandatory, where they had been accustomed to working and collaborating together, we found that a lot of individuals, not just the businesses themselves, but individuals, when offered the opportunity to work in a hybrid environment where, a few days in the office and a few days remote, that really appealed to them because of the ability to have the interaction with other individuals and the cultural side of it. And that's something that I think a lot of people didn't anticipate last year or in years previously, when we sort of accepted that, okay, we're in a new environment, a new world order in terms of how we're going to work and how we're going to interact with each other. And then with the advent of the ability to be able to work in Teams and work in Zoom and work with video collaboration, those are great tools. They're phenomenal tools. There's no doubt about it. But they do not replace the ability, when I need an answer, to be able to lean over to my coworker or walk over to my coworker's office and get an answer. There's no doubt in our minds and those that are working on a day in and day out basis, where it does dictate collaborating and working with their team, that's just a far superior way to work.
But nothing compares to this. Being inside the belly of the beast.
Yeah, we've seen, the talent side of it. Being able to grow our team as well, and being able to increase that talent pool has definitely benefited us, and I think it's going to benefit many other businesses out there as well. In our first podcast that we did, or it was our third episode, but we were talking about the preparing for 2023, and we sat down here and we talked a lot about building more efficiencies for businesses and driving some consolidation of various platforms, driving more efficiencies for their team, streamlining operations, building those frictionless experiences for their clients and for their employees. I would have to say that this year, we've invested heavily in that, but not only for us, our clients. I've been seeing a much more rapid pace of, cloud transformation, digital transformation, consolidation of tools, getting rid of the shadow IT. What have you guys seen with working with clients and just being in industry? What have you seen out there as far as the consolidation, some of the benefits that organizations have been able to come to fruition?
Well, I think, the same needs that we have as a business are pretty common across the SMB space. And most of our clients have the same needs as well. They recognize that there are certain things that we have to achieve. And so they went out and they found platforms and applications that can help them achieve that, which a lot of those platforms had other features that they could have utilized, but they had a different application that they used to fulfill that need. And I think businesses are recognizing that software as a service is a great, awesome tool for businesses, because they can pay for the use of those platforms on a monthly basis or annual basis. But eventually you get to a point when you need to recognize, hey, I've got so many tools here that I can use, but let's start to look at how much redundancy do I have across these tools, and can some of these tools perhaps perform things that we're doing currently with another tool, and if so, how do I get them to work and play together properly? And so, what we're facing at EMPIST is the same thing that a lot of our clients are facing, which is at EMPIST, can you help us consolidate these tools and integrate these tools so that they can provide, maybe I only have one or two or three or four platforms that are primary line of business applications, depending upon the team or the department that's utilizing it. And how can I help them to play together properly and to work together properly and build some integrations? And so that's a real focus.
Yeah, ultimately, what are they trying to achieve, though? I mean, all businesses, they're trying to achieve very similar objectives.
Simplicity. I mean, I think most businesses are looking, can I do things more easily? Tools are great, but unless you can get them to actually serve the purpose that they have, which is to make things more efficient, to make us faster at what we do, to make it more simple for us to be able to interact with each other, and more importantly, for our clients to be able to interact with us. I think that's what businesses are ultimately looking for. They're looking for, instead of, I wanted to do so many things, I want to actually scale it down to do the simple things very, very fast and accurately. And I think that's what businesses are looking for in their platforms. And that's certainly what we are helping businesses do.
Yeah. Keep it simple, right?
Keep it.
Sometimes, you see that there's this constant sprawl of technologies that they've lost their ways. It's like one tool, another tool, another one. Let's get another one, and you're using 5 to 10% of all
each of those tools,
of
right.
each of those tools,
Yeah.
and you're not maximizing any one of the tools to 80% or above. You may never utilize 100% of all features or functions of a tool, but you should certainly strive for 60, 70, 80% adoption of a various platform.
I'm ready when you are, John. 100%.
Okay.
Well, guys, I really appreciate it. I can't believe we're at approaching 2024. Before we know it, we'll be talking about 2025. Time just flies. It's been an amazing year with you guys and with the entire team here at EMPIST and all of our clients. But do you guys have any closing thoughts for the audience? Anything that you'd like to, any golden nuggets, anything that you'd, let any other business owner out there know that they should be really focusing on and embracing for the new year?
Well, I'll take that one. 2024 is going to be a great year. We're very, very optimistic here. We're very, very excited. With the advent, obviously, of AI, we're in a new realm. And the capabilities and the possibilities for businesses are significant. Most of our clients have spent years really culling and cultivating a great database of information about their clients. And so my recommendation for 2024 is, how can we take this great information we have and how can we apply AI to determine how we can be more efficient, more effective, and service our clients better. And so that's really what we're trying to do here at EMPIST. And I think if our clients, who are very much like us and mirror us, are interested in doing, they're interested in being of greater service to their clients, and they can do so by just applying an artificial intelligence, an AI component to really utilizing the data that they have to make it more efficient and simpler and faster for their clients.
For me, in the spirit of Christmas, the true spirit of Christmas, which is greed, I want us to be greedy. I want you as our clients to be greedy. Think about all the ways you could be servicing your own clients when you have an existing relationship. And we've learned this a lot from our vendors. One of our vendors, Kaseya, for example, which I know a lot of our clients who are watching us today are using the wonderful products. They made few key acquisitions last year for the purpose of being greedy. If we're already with somebody who has also need for services that they're somewhat connected in an upsell or cross-sell opportunity with us, why not take that piece of the pie? So, for example, Kaseya bought Datto, and they bought Connect Booster and some other firms, where now they completely control, as vendors, a lot of our clients' digital environment in some way. So this is what I wish to a lot of our clients, and this is a strategy definitely us as EMPIST, I know we're implementing, is be greedy in the aspect that it's your fiduciary responsibility and your duty to go after everything that your clients have within your spectrum, of course. I'm not asking you, if you're an insurance company, to start selling banking products, but as much as you can collect out of what's available that still connects to your main core business, don't leave it on the table, because if you don't take it, somebody else will. So greed in this case is good. But open your mind, and never before with the new systems and platforms that they're available could this be possible, because there's so much automation happening, and by bringing all this data together, that makes this possible with less effort than just hiring a whole new line of business in order to support the business division of yours.
Wow, fantastic, guys.
Be greedy.
Guys,
that's our
look, fantastic. I mean, everything that you've accomplished, everything that we've accomplished, our clients accomplished are now in the rearview mirror, right? We're all looking ahead for 2024. Very exciting. We're very excited about it. Thank you to everybody for tuning in, for making 2023 a great year for everybody. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer, please drop them in the comment section below, and see you next time.